Hi there, my name is Augustine. We are still on the White Intellectual Discourse, the series of speaking competitions leading to the award of the Augustine Udefa Speaking Scholarship. In today's discourse, we have two speakers. Moses Samuel, a pharmacy student at the University of Port Harcourt, and Abdulaziz Aishat, a mathematics student at the University of Lagos. Both speakers will be speaking on the topic: is interfaith marriage a threat or breach to unity? Without wasting time, let us listen to Samuel, our first speaker, as he tackles this topic. Samuel, over to you.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Standing on all existing protocol, I remain Wojo Samuel, and I'm here to share my unique perspective on the topic: is interfaith marriage a breach or a threat to unity? In 2005, I met a particular friend whose mother is a Christian and the father a Muslim. And one of the principles I live by is to share the gospel with my friends. And I discovered that each time I decided to share the gospel with this friend of mine, he resisted. He kept on asking me questions about the existence of God, especially Jesus, as Christians believe. He kept asking, if God is real, then why do people die? Why do people suffer? And each time I attempted to answer his question, he kept on resisting. Before we judge interfaith marriage, which is actually the union between couples of different religious standing, let's understand why it actually happens. So, to understand the factors that lead to interfaith marriage, we need to understand that it can be a result of historical factors or the present factors. The historical factors date back to the early BCE till the mid 20th century, and it could be as a result of a political alliance and even exceptional circumstances. We can see this in the case of war and colonization. Current factors that lead to interfaith marriage are shifted from political or structural reasons to being more of personal interest and romanticism. It could also be as a result of migration and trade routes, as we see that many Africans tend to marry spouses from diaspora in order to get permanent resident visa permits. Having understood what leads to interfaith marriage, let's begin to decipher what makes it fail. The truth is that interfaith marriage fails because it affects the child's upbringing. As we see in the case of Tom Cruise, who was from the Church of Scientology, and Katie Holmes, who was from Catholicism. So they got married in 2006. But guess what? In 2012, Katie Holmes signed for a divorce because the belief of Scientologists are far different from that of Catholicism. Therefore, she signed for a divorce in order to protect her child's upbringing, to prevent it from being affected with the beliefs of the Scientologist. And it can also fail because these two religions have different beliefs. Abraham in Genesis made his servant to take an oath not to find a wife for his son Isaac in Canaan. Why? Because Canaan believe in paganism, idolatry, and hold moral practices which are anti-ethical to the belief in Yahweh. Interfaith marriage fails because it causes friction in one's commitment to his relationship with God. As we see in the case of King Solomon in First King chapter 11, he was cut off from his walk with God because he married several women from Moabites, from Ammonites, and these women brought in their strange gods, and he built altars for Molech and for several strange gods, and this made him to deviate from his walk with God. Interfaith marriage is usually a threat to the minds of the young ones. This is a call for you not to think only about yourself, but about the upcoming generation. How will this marriage affect their minds? Thank you.
Good job. That was Samuel from the University of Port Harcourt. Having listened to Samuel's perspective on the topic, let us give room to Aisha, our second speaker. Aisha, you have the floor.
What happens when two people from different faiths choose to build a life together? Does their difference in religion automatically create division, or can it actually bring two communities closer? Good day, distinguished judges and everyone listening. My name is Abdulaziz Aishat Titilope, a 100-level mathematics student at the University of Lagos. Today, I'm honored to speak on the topic: is interfaith marriage a threat or a bridge to unity? I believe interfaith marriage can be a bridge to unity, but only when it is built on mutual respect and understanding. Nigeria is a country with different religions, especially Christianity and Islam. Sometimes, these religious differences create misunderstanding and division. But marriage between people of different faiths can show us that people can have different beliefs and still respect and care for one another. When two people from different religious backgrounds come together, they have the opportunity to understand each other's beliefs and traditions more closely. Their families also interact, and this can create relationship between people who might otherwise have never connected. However, interfaith marriage is not always easy. Religious beliefs can influence important decisions such as how children are raised, which religious practices they follow, and how families celebrate important occasions. If couples do not discuss these issues honestly, disagreements can create serious problems. So, interfaith marriage should not be seen as automatically good or automatically bad. The real question is, how do the people involved handle their differences? If there is a respect, open communication, and willingness to understand each other, religious differences do not have to become a source of conflict. But if either people try to force their belief on the other, then the same difference that have created understanding may instead create division. For me, unity does not mean that everyone must believe the same thing. Unity means that even when we disagree, we can still respect one another. Interfaith marriage can therefore serve as small example of what Nigerian itself needs. People from different backgrounds learning to live together without allowing their differences to destroy their relationships. In conclusion, interfaith marriage can be a bridge to unity rather than a threat. But that bridge must be built with respect, communication, understanding, and genuine acceptance. Because sometimes bringing people together does not require them to have the same belief. It simply requires them to recognize each other's humanity. Thank you.
Good job. That was Aishat from the University of Lagos. Ladies and gentlemen, you've listened to Samuel and Aisha. What do you think about their presentations? Whose presentation resonated with you? Who do you want to win the competition? Let us know in the comments section and let us know your own perspective. To you, is interfaith marriage a threat or bridge to unity? Let us know what you think and let us know whether Samuel or Aisha should win the competition. And as usual, after 5 days, the scores from the public and the one from the panel of independent judges will be calculated and the winner will be announced. I'll see you in my next